Hi, my name's Mike Collins. Those of you who know my YouTube channel, Ponderfun, know that I've been putting out videos every week since January, and I just recently did an Easter video where I've had a lot of requests of how to draw the animals and the people that I put in each week's videos. Well, I decided with Easter coming up, and with us being stuck at home for a while, it would be good maybe to teach you how to draw an Easter bunny this time of year. Realize this is your drawing. You draw it however you want. I'm going to show you how I drew mine, but remember I took several times to do it. But I'm going to show you the tricks and techniques that artists generally do when they draw something. They don't always just draw the lines in one setting. What they'll do is usually draw circles and shapes, squares and triangles, and have the right proportions. It's probably best to start with a pencil and an eraser. Draw very light lines, because you're going to be erasing some lines that you're not going to need, and you're going to darken up the lines that you want to keep later. One of my favorite art instructors in college said, when you draw something, you have to learn to see it and not just look at it. Take your blank sheet of paper, and when you look at whatever you're drawing, where it's light, you leave it white. Where it's dark, you make a mark. And that's really all there is to drawing. The trick is knowing how light to leave it and how dark to make it. All right, before we get into it, let's talk about the Easter Bunny itself. The Easter Bunny actually came from Germany. Colored eggs were left for the children, and the children would go out and hunt the eggs. They'd see rabbits sometimes coming out of burrows in the ground, and they began to associate the rabbit with leaving the colored eggs. So they started leaving nests for the bunny to put its colored eggs in, and they used hats and baskets. And then after a while, they felt sorry for the bunny that it might get hungry on its journey, so they started leaving carrots for it as a treat, kind of like we leave cookies and milk for Santa Claus on Christmas Eve. Well, let's get into drawing the Easter Bunny. Most animals have a lot of curved shapes. We're going to be using mostly circles and ovals, which is just a stretched out circle. We also call it an ellipse. You can either draw them by hand, freehand, or you can take a glass or a dish or a plate and use those to make whatever size circle you want. But the idea, again, is to make it your own drawing, make it whatever color you want at the end, whatever shape you want. But emphasize the things that make a rabbit a rabbit. That's probably the easiest way to start. As you can see, I put a grayed out outline of the bunny in the middle. So let's start with drawing a circle for his body. All right, you can pause the video whenever you like. Don't feel like you'll be rushed. All right, so go ahead and draw a nice big round circle. We'll draw the fur and the rough in later. Now let's take a look at his head. So draw a nice circle for his head, a little bit above it, overlapping just a little bit off to the right. Now let's take a look at his ears. Rabbits have nice big round ears, so we're going to draw a circle representing the outline of the ears. You can also just draw arcs if you want, but if you draw a circle, it gives you nice big round shapes. And now you're going to go in and use your eraser, and you're going to erase the lines you're not using that you're not going to need. This will keep you from having too many extra lines and being confused on the page. Now we'll take some curves and we'll draw the back ears too. Same kind of thing. Draw nice big round circles. Give the rabbit's ears some depth and some curve. Again, this way we're going to have nice proportions. We'll make sure they're big enough, but not too big. Now let's take a look at his mouth. Animals like deer, dogs, cats sometimes have two little round sections of their mouth, a muzzle, and they'll have the nose in the middle. And you can see the shape of the nose. We're not going to worry so much about the nose right now. We're just going to draw basically the circles of the mouth that will eventually have his whiskers. And then what we're going to do is we're going to give him a little bit of a bottom circle mouth, and that gives him a little bit of a smile and gives him some character. This isn't exactly like a rabbit looks like, but it's my rabbit, and I'm going to draw it the way I want. Now let's take a look at his eyes. We'll start with the pupil, and we'll draw a nice big round eye, and you draw it whatever size you want. Now let's take a look at his paws. We'll start with the front paw, the one facing us. We're going to make it nice round circles. You can also use an ellipse or an oval there if you like, but the circles make it nice and round. Okay, erase whatever lines you're not using. And for the back paw, I'd probably just draw one small circle just to give it a nice rounded shape. Again, animals have nice rounded bodies. Now, let's take a look at his foot. In this case, we are going to use an oval because that's what a rabbit's foot mostly looks like. It'll give it a nice rounded front. And we'll do the same thing for the back. You can either use a small oval or you can use a circle. In this case, I'll draw a small circle. Now we're going to do the front of the leg. Dogs, cats, deers, and rabbits, any other animal like that, generally have a nice rounded front section of the leg. We're not going to worry about the fur at this moment. We'll do that later. Erase the lines you're not using. All right. You can pause the video whenever you like. Don't feel rushed. Now we've got his tail. In this case, I'm going to draw a little oval for the tail. Now for the inside of the ears, you can either just draw curves that are a little bit inside, Or you can draw big circles if you like. Since I started with circles, I'm going to end with them. And that gives us his ears. Now what we're going to do is draw the details inside of our drawing, however we want. You can go ahead and take time and do little jagged edges if you want to show the fur of the rabbit. You can go in and draw his nose, for example. Give it a little bit of fur to it. Give it the shape of the nose you can see here. You can give him some whiskers. Give him his teeth and the bottom of his mouth and a little bit of a smile. Again, you can draw on the fur however you like. You can see I'm drawing the front of him with a little bit of jagged fur. Give him some toenails, some toes, if you will. And also give him some little toes on his feet. We'll give his tail a little bit of character too. And you can take your time and make your rabbit however you want. And then if you want, you can go ahead and color him. You can either shade him in gray with a pencil, or you can get crayons or whatever color you want, markers. Get online, look at books, look at the internet, find out what colors rabbits are, or you can make up your own. Again, it's Easter. You can do whatever you like. Colors are important in Easter. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. I plan on doing one every day, a different animal that I've done in my Ponderfun videos. Again, you can find those on YouTube at Ponderfun. I've drawn dragons and sheep and chickens and every kind of animal or person you can imagine. So I plan on teaching you how to draw something different each day. And then what I'm going to do on my Etsy site is I'm going to be putting a weekly drawing lesson you can subscribe to that'll have 5 different drawings for each day. And again, you can go on my Etsy site. It'll be in the link below if you look at the description on the YouTube page here. Look at things, learn how to see things like an artist, and have fun drawing.